Guys, it's the last week of January.
Whew, can't believe that.
We're out here in Bradbury. We just filmed the listing video for this new listing.
Yep, just got over COVID. Sorry, 6 foot, right? All right.
I don't feel like this is 6 feet.
Wow.
Good Lord. What else is happening?
Everything is happening. The market's on fire.
Dude, you've been so busy.
It's crazy. I think I have more going on right now than ever in my entire career.
Wow.
It's a good problem.
Yeah.
Right?
Good.
I mean, we have the biggest problem in the market right now is inventory.
Right. How do we get more?
And the lack of.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, so that I had this call this week. It reminded me, we were just on the brokerage meeting with Jason last week, and it totally was like in line with what he was saying. So it was a guy I went to high school with. He's thinking of selling his house. He's got baby coming, first baby, gonna be here in the
Needs
summer.
a bigger house.
Wants
Yeah.
a bigger house. It's
Okay.
only been 18 months since he even bought. And he's asking, like, can I get a contingent offer accepted? Because obviously he has to sell that house.
Right.
You know, like,
You
my
don't wanna
first
make 'em
response,
homeless.
right?
Yeah.
And my first response is like, no, of course you can't. Like, I mean, I did it a couple times last year, right? But not in the market he's in. He's in Brea, which
Tough.
And I
North
think
OC
literally
is-
I just saw a statistic that says there's like 7 active properties in Brea right now, or something crazy low. I may be making up that number, but it was shockingly low.
it's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's like when I did it, it was like Corona, which is hot, but not like North OC hot, you know? So I told him, like, obviously it's gonna be very difficult, but then I'm trying to, I hear Jason's words in my head from what he said at our meeting the day before. So he was saying that we need to start getting people to list their house with the contingency to find a replacement property and write contingent offers, because that's going to give us this injection of inventory that we need in the
that we
market.
desperately need.
If we're all encouraging it, then we'll get
And
that
may-
inventory we desperately
Yeah.
need.
And
We won't
may-
have just 7 on the market,
Sure,
right?
sure, and it'll create a new trend.
So he's not ready yet, but I mean, I think that I got his.
Because our solution has been before is you write an offer and then you negotiate a rent back or a free 30 days.
So then what?
Puts
Yeah,
a lot of
it's always
pressure
risky.
under our clients
Yeah, 'cause
because
what
they've got to
happens if
find
they
a
run out of time?
they have to find a place. You have to get a very understanding buyer where maybe you can extend the 30 days. But yeah, that's interesting. I think that could be a good tactic if the market and agents all get on board with
If
that.
we're all on board, right? It won't work if I'm just the only one doing it.
And that seems like a healthy market because if you want to sell and buy bigger, downsize, that seems like
There are so many people who want to do just what he called me about, but they're scared that they're not going to get their offers
Everybody's
accepted. So if we can just get everybody on board with doing it, then we'll be in a better spot, right?
Oh. In a much better spot.
absolutely. Because what was the other thing I read? That there's 4 buyers for every 1 home on the market right now.
Sure. Have you guys sold anything in the past year that's had less than 10 offers on it?
I mean, maybe in like Marietta, but still multiple.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah, right.
not in North OC.
I can't think of any, no.
I think the average for me has been like 15, 12 to 15.
Which, like, I know people hear that number and are like, "Oh, it's so cool," but like, is it? Because you only need one. I mean, it's
You need
cool. that
one
it-
ready, willing, and able
right?
buyer.
Like, I mean, you don't need, and I don't want that to become the norm. People get disappointed that they only get 3 offers. Like, that's still
Right.
great.
Getting spoiled.
You know?
I did list a house, so we had to come back on the market, and I did have to relist it, and we went back to our 3 offers that we had. This was up in the high desert, and they were all over asking. And I
Oh,
looked
was
at
this
my-
an IX?
Yes.
Yeah.
I looked at my seller and I said, we should only be so fortunate that we only have 3 offers and they're all over list price.
Like what?
What? That's not going to stick around forever.
It's
so
crazy. Don't get used to it.
No, but right now I did open house both Saturday and Sunday.
And they were in like completely different areas.
Completely different markets, completely different buyer identities, everything.
You were in
And-
Eastville on
Yep.
Saturday?
And then I was out here
Here.
in Bradbury, and I can't tell you, I was exhausted.
I'm surprised you're here
3
today.
hours of being on is tough.
Oh, and having the same conversations.
Oh, and back in the day, like open houses, you wouldn't get so many people through, but right now there's somebody in the house the
bring a
entire time, so
book.
you really are on like 3
I remember
hours.
bringing a book to an open house. No, actually, when I first started in real estate, I mean, you guys, I'm talking like first 6 months, because I started when the market tanked. Like 2009 was my first like year on my own in real estate, not being an assistant. And I walked into an open house, and there's this guy snoozing,
The agent
the
was
realtor?
asleep. That's hilarious.
sound asleep. Nobody in the house, and I walk in like, am I gonna startle him? Like I'm
Boo.
literally tiptoeing. If I was
Very
in-
different now, right? Like, oh my God, when we were in Buena Park a couple weeks ago, you and I were both just
people were
like,
in line to talk
put
to
us
you
to sleep. We're so tired.
There was like literally like 300 people.
75 flyers we ran out after
Oh.
an hour.
Yeah.
And that was like one per group. That wasn't, yeah.
No. And that was
Ay, ay, ay.
not even agents taking them because they had their own MLS
Right,
pages.
right.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was like 300 people we talked to that day.
Yeah. So more contingent offers. Maybe if the interest rates go up a little bit more.
Which they are up.
Which they are. They're going up. They're going up.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean,
people-
it's still so low. Like,
it's low, but
but-
people say I'm going to wait till prices go down.
used to be
Well,
sub 3.
That's going to be because interest rates have gone up.
Wait, didn't
Yeah.
you just send us a video about when that guy had the mind blown where he was like, when
Yes.
you
Yes.
realize that a $700,000 house at 3% interest is less money than a $550,000 house at 5%
At 5%
interest?
right? And 5
Math.
is not that far away.
No.
It's a percent away, which is a couple rate hikes, which the Fed says they're going to do 3 more.
So if you do your math, you know,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's an interesting topic, Elise, and I encourage it. I would encourage any of my clients that called me, anyone that wanted to do it, like, let's go for it.
Dude.
Let's go for it.
For real.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
how long do you think this short sale that we're in right now in Bradbury is going to take to negotiate? That's my number one question I'm getting when people call about this house.
Well, it's funny because for me, like, I've been in real estate over 5 years now, but like short sales haven't
You've
been,
never-
it hasn't been a thing that I've had to do. So I'm learning so much watching you do this since, like you said, you got into real estate.
That's all I did.
It's
all
all
you
you
did.
did. So it's
I
fascinating
remember some
because
9 months. Remember Cassidy? Ritter Path. Ritter Path in Chino Hills was my first short sale, and it took 9 months.
Yeah. The Happy Dance started because of a short sale.
On the
In Chino Hills.
In Chino Hills, behind the gated community. What
Yeah.
street was that?
Yeah.
I forget the name of it.
Dickens
but-
or something like
Dickens,
that?
Yes.
Yes.
Dickens.
Was my first Happy Dance.
Oh, are we gonna have to bring back a happy dance? I feel like
It
because
really
you've
was,
listed this
yes.
so many times, we're dancing.
No, because
we
this
don't
was-
dance anymore, but we're dancing
We'll
at
dance
this
to this
one.
one.
You guys, this was clients that were also friends of mine, and we had like approval, and then the buyer would walk, approval, buyer would walk.
Yes,
So I mean, it was
Dickens.
the biggest roller coaster, and these are dear people that I care about. And I finally told her, Missy, I get this done. I am going to dance, celebrate, cartwheel. And she laughed at me. And then literally, I like called her almost crying one day. I'm like, we got it done. Half hour later, she calls me. She's like, where's this dance you promised me?
I vaguely
Well,
remember. We
And I literally
get
had
that video out.
I literally had all 3
Recreate.
kids in the car with me when she called me out. And I was like, okay.
We're dancing.
So I literally pulled up to the house with all 3 kids, put some music on, and danced. And I literally only sent it to her, which she thought was hilarious, but it became a thing. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, so truly though, like,
sorry, yeah.
no, the stats show that like so many more homeowners have equity in their home than did in 2008. So short sales aren't going to be the norm, which
No.
is why I'm like really paying attention because if it does come up again, I want to know what I'm doing, and people don't know how they work because they are not really a thing anymore.
so essentially, it's where the homeowner owes more on the property than it is worth.
Right.
In 2008, we got in a lot of trouble because the market was booming and people were using their house as a bank account. They were refinancing to buy that boat, to buy that second house, to buy everything. And next thing they knew, they owe more, and then the market tanked. And so, in order to get out from under that debt, we sell it and negotiate with the banks to take a concession and take lower than they owe and allow the people to walk away with not a foreclosure on their record.
So what's going to happen on this one? Like, obviously, we already have multiple offers in hand. We're going to land multiple offers, but it's different because you're not going to take them to the seller like we usually would. You're
No.
going to take them to the bank, or how does that work?
So you only submit one fully
Right.
executed offer to the bank at a time.
So you work with your sellers to determine which offer is the best one to submit to the bank.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the only one that the bank sees. I will still present the bank with a spreadsheet to show, hey, because
Here's where we're at.
ultimately buyers are going to determine market value in any market, short sale, regular sale, foreclosure, whatever. So I want to show the bank, like if the bank's like, this is low, well, I have 7 other offers that are at the same price. Buyers they're speaking to us.
Right.
They're
And you know how
yelling.
this market is right now. People are willing to pay more for a house. So if this is
Right.
what they're willing to pay, this is
Right.
what they're willing
And
to
that's
pay.
more, yeah.
Yeah, they're yelling loud and clear. This is what market value is.
I mean,
so
you've had this house listed before and it's not sold. So
Couple-
like,
yeah,
and the fact that we have multiple offers
exactly.
now is like
Exactly.
encouraging, but
Yeah.
The trickiest part for a buyer about this house is the patience that's going to have to be involved in waiting.
Yeah.
And I remember as a buyer's agent, we would encounter short sales that had been in negotiation process for months and months and months. And I would approach it as a new buyer, like we would like to put an offer, and they said, we've already had 3 buyers, they couldn't wait long enough, you have to wait. Are you ready to wait? And
Yep.
So you just have to have the right mindset.
Well, right now, what could help with that is the lack of inventory.
Right.
It's not like anyone else has a house
Right.
to buy.
You're
So
gonna be
on
like-
the other end of that, if I look at the silver lining,
Yeah.
I may get well, we may get hopefully a patient buyer.
I wonder if it'll go faster now because there are less short sales in the queue for the bank to get through.
Yeah, that's a
Like,
good-
is that?
Yeah, the pile's not too big, and the other thing is the homeowners obviously immediately don't want to walk away from the primary residence, so they've already opened up loss mitigation with the bank to try to work out a loan modification or any other terms.
So they've got like a head start.
Due to financial hardship, the bank has turned them down on that, and so we've already opened up dialogue with them.
Yeah.
I've already opened up loss mitigation discussions with them. So, but there's other judgments and liens that we have to negotiate and tread our way through and get everybody on the same page so that the homeowners can just walk away. Literally, the homeowners are not allowed to make a penny on a short sale. So it's just getting to that point. There's a happy number that every lien holder signs off and title can transfer.
Well, I think this is going to be a good learning opportunity. We're going to have these chats more and share about this process. I think we have another video to make right now.
Dude, we do. We're so
So,
busy. All right, let's
let's
pick
You're
this
gonna
up
make me
later.
talk more. Great.
Yeah, we'll talk more.
Okay.
You guys
All
are
right.
stuck with me on text all day long. So cool.
So stay tuned. We'll come back at you guys maybe in a week or a month or days.
Yeah,
and
we'll figure
have
it
more of
out.
These chats.
Bye.
Bye.